due to a copyright claim by the BBC, I've had to re-upload this video. It's a real shame actually, because the scene that I've had to take out was this leopard, and it was jumping into a lake and it took out a caiman in its mouth. Now, if you don't know what a caiman is, it's like a crocodile or an alligator. Anyway, it's a real shame, but I had to take that offending clip out. Anyway, I'll explain all about it later on in the video, and don't let that interfere with your enjoyment of this great review. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the Vankyo Leisure 420 Full HD Projector. Now in this video I will be doing an in-depth review of the product. I'll also be showing you how I set it up in my living room using a projector screen which you can buy separately, and I'll also show you what it's like just on your living room wall. Now this wouldn't be classed as a full projector, and it wouldn't be classed as a mini projector. This is very much a travel projector, and it is on the budget side of the market, but I believe it punches well above its weight, and it does come in a little nice travel bag, and I really do mean that. It is a lovely nice bag. As you can see here by the picture, this is how it came packaged, and it really did come in very well packaged. And the beauty of this product is, once you unpackage it, you can actually package it back the way it came. Now that sounds simple enough, but a lot of products you can never seem to get it back into the box. But this one, very, very versatile in that, and it is very much a travel projector. So I did mention it was a budget projector, so here it is on Amazon, and it's £109, and it is a full HD 3000 lux mini home cinema projector. Now I did mention it was a full HD, but it only supports full HD. If you want to have one that projects in full HD, then you'd probably have to spend round about the £400 mark. So a lot of these projectors you will see, and they will say that they're full HD, but that only means that they support a HD signal, just like this one. So if you want to view Amazon Fire Stick on this, or PS4, PS3, Xbox, anything that's got an HDMI cable that you would normally plug into your TV, then you can use this projector for. The only thing that it doesn't recommend is to use this as a computer monitor, and I'll explain that a little bit later on in the video. Now what did get me excited about this is the customer reviews, albeit there's only 28 of them, but look at that, you can't really get much better customer reviews on Amazon. So we'll see if that lays fruit. Lays fruit, is that the right expression? Anyway, so this is all the formats that it accepts, and it's pretty much everything. Now I did mention resolution earlier on, and the native resolution is 800 by 480. So it's a 480p projector, which is standard def, and the suggested projection distance is 4 foot to 14 foot. Well, I'm going to put that to test later on in the video as well. So what do you get in the box? Well, you get the projector, you get a 3-in-1 AV cable, you get an HDMI cable, which I thought was a really good touch. You get a power adapter, a remote control, user manual, and packing bag, as previously mentioned. The remote control is fine. It does all what you would expect it to do. In fact, I never used the buttons on top of the projector, just a remote control. One thing to note is the remote control doesn't light up in the dark, although it may suggest it is an luminous remote control. So maybe keep your smartphone or a little torch handy when you're trying to work out the functions of the remote control in the dark. Now this is the side of the projector. As you can see, we've got an SD card slot, we've got a headphone slot, AV slot, we've got 2 HDMI slots, which is good, and you've also got a USB slot. Now round the other side you've got a VGA slot. Now that surprised me slightly because it's not compatible for computer screens. So why they've got that is, as I say, a little bit surprising. So why is it not suitable for a PC monitor? Well, better to answer that question is the frequently asked questions on Amazon. And I could not explain it better than Mr. D. Campbell here. I presume it's a Mr. Because while the input resolution is full HD, for example, a pretty standard resolution for a laptop is a 1920 by 1280. The output of the monitor is pretty low, 800 by 600. This means things such as text, especially smaller text in something like an Excel spreadsheet that you may want to display on a screen, will be very indistinct / blurry. Means you will not be able to read it. It will be very pixelated. So thank you, Ms. or Mr. Campbell, for that. Round the other side of the projector, all we've got is where the PowerPoint goes in, and underneath all we've got is a little sticker, but it also can be mounted onto a projector plate, which is pretty cool. And you've also got a little raising arm just at the very top of the screen there, so it can just raise it up just a little bit, maybe around about a couple of centimetres, possibly an inch. Now the buttons on the top of the projector, which is something I never used, because let's face it, you can hardly see them now, so in pitch black conditions it is just forget about it, even with a torch. So stick with the remote control when you're working this projector in the dark. Now it's also got a focus wheel and a keystone wheel. The focus is pretty self-explanatory, just like a camera, and keystone is basically just raises it up or raises it down, so that if it's a little bit off centre, that will adjust it just that little bit, but it's not a huge adjustment. Maybe I think it's only 15%. Now I also got a portable projector screen. Now you wonder why a screen would be in a box. Well, it's not the kind of screen you would think of normally. No, it's basically just a cloth sheet. Now the one I got sent was 120 inches, which is huge. Much bigger than this projector could actually function, but there we go. And as you can see, it's a kind of polyester, shiny white material, and it's supposed to hook onto your wall, which I'll show you pretty soon actually. But the quality of the sheet is fine, you know, and it does the job. So this is the wall that I'm going to mount that screen on. Obviously I'll take away the TV, but yeah. So how am I going to put the screen onto the wall? Well, it does come supplied with these little hooks. Now, it does have little sticky bits as well, and they're supposed to be little sticky bits that when you pull them, they do not damage your wall. Well, these are obviously some of the budget kinds, because as you can see, yes, it damaged my wall. So if you're going to use those sticky things, make sure you buy branded ones like the one I bought. These ones by command work impeccably and do not leave any damage on the wall. Now this is me now putting the screen onto the wall. I've blurred this out especially. No, I have not. It was just a problem with my camera, but probably is better to blur out my backside, to be honest with you. So this is me just mounting it onto the wall. As you can see, 120 inches is a huge screen, much bigger than my wall, and it goes all the way round the sides. Now this is the finished article, and it wasn't really intended to go round the side, but I figured that was probably the best way to do it. Now this is me projecting a Fortnite onto it. As you can see, it goes all the way around the side, so most of the screen isn't actually used. And I found that the screen image wasn't particularly good, so I decided just to ditch the screen altogether and just use my wall. My wall is pretty much white. It's off-white. You can see a little bit there when I'm taking the screen off, and I found that the results were much better on the wall, albeit it somewhat damaged wall now, so bear that in mind. Now this is how I have managed to put my projector in the back of the wall. It just fits very well on the back of my couch with a little coffee table. I must admit, it's as if it was made for it. It was very much the perfect height, and this is what it looks like in the dark. Right, so these are images now that you see with the lights on. As you can see, it's pretty much washed out, but once you turn the lights off, it pops into place. Now this is me watching football, and I felt, although it was in standard def, I thought that the image quality was extremely good for this, essentially a £100 TV, which is over 100 inches. So yeah, I was very, very impressed considering it is only an SD picture. So what size is the picture that you see on screen? Well, get an idea of how big it is. I'm over 6 feet, and I've got the measuring tape out, and it was roughly about 105 to 110 inches, that screen that you see at the moment. So pretty impressive. Now this is the first test that I got. I put it in my bedroom. As you can see, this is from behind of the projector, and this screen size, I would say, is roughly about 70 inches. This is me working it on Netflix at the moment. I'm using my Amazon Fire Stick. Now, as I said, it just works exactly the same way as a TV would work. So as long as if your TV has got an HDMI cable, then it will work on this. Obviously it works with VGA as well. Now you have got other functions just as you would expect on a TV, so you can change how the picture looks, contrast, brightness, vivid, cool, all the kind of things you would expect on a modern TV. In fact, really is just the same as a TV in every respect other than the size, to be honest. One thing you can do is you can make the screen slightly smaller than what is projected. Now it only goes to 75%, so bear that in mind. So if it does go over the edges of your wall, you can reduce it by just that little bit, but not as much as I would like, to be honest with you. Now this screen really does do well in a bedroom the way I've got it set up right now. So if you're wanting a projector for your kids, my son absolutely loves playing Fortnite on the big massive screen. He loves it, but I wouldn't necessarily say this is a gaming projector by any means, but it really is. For the casual gamer, it runs really well. And if you want to watch a TV or movies and make a big deal as in movie night, then this projector is excellent, especially when it comes to kids. So I haven't mentioned fan noise, and I also haven't mentioned how good the speakers are from the unit. So this is the fan noise. So here we are, this is the offending clip. I'm afraid I had to blur it out quite considerably. So you want to know what it sounds like? Well, you'll just have to take my word for it. The speakers are loud, especially from such a small box. I really was impressed. Although I recommend using an AV amp with a projector, if you had to just rely on the projector, you will not be disappointed. It is very loud for such a small speaker. So that was my review of the Vankyo Leisure 420 Full HD projector. £109 on Amazon, and I think it's, to be honest with you, for the money, can't go far wrong. Your kids will love it. So I hope you like that video. Hope you're all well, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.